Look, I don't have a brown pinstripe suit. I don't have a blue suit. I don't even have the right color shirt yet, but I do have the tie. I'll get there. New Earth, here we go, kicking off Series 2 in my Overdue Doctor Who review, going back through the ones that I don't already have videos up, which means I get to do the entirety of the fourth Doctor, the 10th Doctor. God, I should just start over. Tennant, the 4th Doctor, also almost all of Matt Smith. So here we go, New Earth. An episode that I've had unkind words to say about in the past. So, how do we go forward here? Well, Tennant himself pretty much grabs the character right off the bat. It's actually funny going back and knowing how things sort of go for him further on down the line. I don't think I'd clocked how early on his arrogance and his sort of self-importance was on display. The things that would eventually pay off with the whole Time Lord triumphant thing. I forgot how early that stuff showed up, because it's pretty much right off the bat. The whole thing with him confronting the nun and saying, "I'm the doctor. If you're looking for a higher authority, there isn't one." I'm like, wow, really? That's kind of a jump up, even like from Eccleston, especially because Eccleston was kind of, he didn't want a part of this anymore. Whereas the doctor's like, "You will shut it down because I said so." Not even like because I'll stop you, but because I said so. So, I'd forgotten how early that stuff showed up. Another thing that is actually really good here, and it's worth noting now, is his chemistry with Rose. Now, what's interesting is there are advantages and disadvantages to having a companion remain once we get a Doctor regeneration. So we have a companion as the carryover through line for a new Doctor. The benefit is we don't have to be trying to get to know a new Doctor at the same time we're trying to get to know a new companion. It gives us a stronger sense of continuity. That is the advantage. The disadvantage is that you're immediately going to be comparing the dynamic and the chemistry between this companion and the previous Doctor and the one that came after, for better or worse, and usually someone's going to come off the worst from that. Even if I stick to modern era, I am not especially looking forward to Clara's time with Smith, because I think she had much better performance chemistry with Capaldi than she did with Smith. But what's interesting about this is that Rose had really not only had very good chemistry, performance chemistry, and remember, when I say chemistry, it doesn't necessarily mean romantic, and performance chemistry with Eccleston and also with Tennant. And at the same time, it's a very different kind of chemistry between each of them, because it does lean flirtier with Tennant, but it is still a very potent chemistry, and that actually, hats off and props to, I'm on a roll tonight, Billie Piper, for having a different dynamic that still has that same feel of connection between her and the other actor. That helps quite a bit. That might be it for positive stuff, or at least wholly positive, because there's a number there are things that I remembered not liking about New Earth, and then there was stuff that I forgot I didn't like about New Earth. So there's the cat people, which, look, you don't have to tell me, oh, it's the ideas that they've evolved from cats. I understand where they come from. It's not that I don't get it, it's that it's a really, 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 really lazy creature design. Let's just take this animal that we know, and now it's a person now. That's really lazy, and I really don't like that as a creature design element. And I don't care if you narratively justify it, I don't like it. So that doesn't help. You know what? There is some interesting things going on with the dynamic of what the sisters are doing and sort of their attitude about it. And I kind of wish that was something that got explored a bit more. Like this whole notion of the ways they've rationalized that that what they're doing is okay. And I kind of wish we delved into that a little bit more rather than just having them be the straight up villains who obviously just bought into all of this and are lost causes. I kind of wish that we spent a little bit more time with their justifications and their rationalizations and basically the way they go to bed at night. Because I feel like there was some depth to be mined there that, a little bit of a missed opportunity. Cassandra's kind of a mixed bag. First off, actually both Tennant and Piper do a really good job of embodying her performance, and which is not an easy thing to do. It's not an easy thing to basically be sort of playing a character that isn't that's a character somebody else already established in the body of a character you're usually playing. Like that's not easy, and they both acquit themselves pretty well on that front. And I do like the final moments with Cassandra, with her in the body of the person who had been her servant, and going back and seeing herself at a younger age when she had, an actual standard human body. That is a really nice moment. Cassandra coming back in general is kind of contrived and random, and I'm not sure it does much, like, aside from give us that moment. I do think that actually they did build up to that moment as well, because I think the idea of her temporarily possessing one of the diseased humans and feeling all of their pain in the brief time she was there and everything that had been done to them would have a very severe impact on her. So, I mean, that worked pretty well. I think the solution is stupid as hell. Like, what? They have every disease, which is a little bit of a weird concept in the first place. So what do? Pour every medicine into a vat and spray them with it. What? Yeah, because that's how medicine works. Like, aside from the fact that I would have to assume at least some of the diseases that they have must be stuff they don't have cures for yet. Otherwise, why would they keep doing this if they had a cure for literally everything that these infected people have? There had to be something like... It's this oversimplified, just cheesily implemented idea that, like, doesn't work, like, on a logistics level at all. So, like, I don't like that resolution. The face of Bo thing is just kind of there. It's basically a placeholder to remind you, hey, here's the face of Bo. We'll pay this off later. And that's kind of all it does. Another thing that I forgot that this doctor brings up is the little shop, the little gift shop. Like, I remember that being a thing in Series 4 at the library. And I forgot that he brought it up here. So that's it's those little moments that can be very fun when you go back and revisit these things, to spot these when you didn't before. But yeah, overall, it's just, and like, you open the episode, you tease with, where are we going? Farther than we've ever gone before. It's New Earth! So, technically, we're not on Earth anymore, but you gotta bring us to a place that was built to remember Earth as much as possible. Like, can we have some weird alienness? Maybe? Please? So, like, there are little moments, there are little things, and then the performances of the core cast are all good in this episode. But there's just a lot of things that bug the heck out of me. And it's largely like lazy detailing. Like the way it's resolved, I think, is a lazy solution. The aliens, I think, are a lazy concept. The just having the nuns be flat out villains, like, oh well, they're okay doing this to these humans that they've convinced themselves aren't even real people. That means she's also willing to tear apart a conscious human being with her claws. I'm like, well, no, you could have gone for nuance there. You took the lazy route again. And that's sort of my annoyance with this episode. I'm actually thinking on it now. There's gonna be a lot of stumbling blocks in Series 2. Series 2 has some of my favorite stories, some of my favorite individual episodes. But it's got a lot of rut stuff. It's also got some of my least favorite ever. So this is gonna be a very up and down stretch for a little bit. But that's New Earth. What do you think about it? Whatever your thoughts are, drop something down in the comments. Let's talk about it. A whole bunch of stuff you can do, such as click buttons and links. There's one to my Patreon if you feel like helping fund me get the proper outfit. No, I actually trying to use those funds to do more meaningful things, like maybe upgrade the camera and things like that. But if you don't want to do that, that's okay. There's other links to check out as well. Don't want to click on those? That's fine too, because at the end of the day, folks, you're the council. I just run the meetings. And until next time, this council is adjourned.